We've all seen it, right? The hacker in a dark room, green text flying across the screen, furiously typing for 30 seconds, and then, bam, they're inside the Pentagon. It makes for great TV, but the truth about real-world cybersecurity, it's way more fascinating, and honestly, a lot more important than what you see in the movies. So today, we're going to tear down those myths and show you what digital security actually looks like. So let's get right to it, the big question that every movie seems to answer with a definite yes. Is it really that simple to cause all that digital chaos? Well, the short answer is nope, not at all. And the long answer, that's where things get really interesting. All right, let's dive into our first and maybe the biggest myth of all, the speed demon. You know, the hacker who can get past any firewall before their coffee even gets cold. So on one side, you've got the Hollywood version, a complete blur of flying fingers, that super dramatic progress bar, and the classic line, "I'm in." But reality is the total opposite. It's slow, it's patient, it is a methodical process. Real attackers aren't mashing on their keyboards. They're running automated scripts that might be poking at a network for days or even weeks, just looking for one tiny crack. And this chart really puts it all into perspective. A real hack is almost entirely prep work. We're talking 90% research, that's studying the target, understanding their defenses, finding all the potential weak spots. That actual "I'm in" moment, that's just the final tiny 10% of the whole operation. It is an absolute marathon of patience, not a sprint of keystrokes. So if it's not about speed, then what is it about? Well, Hollywood loves this idea of an unbreakable system, right? A fortress of code that our hero has to battle. But in the real world, attackers almost never go for the strongest part of the wall. They go for the weakest link. And that's almost always, well, it's us. At the end of the day, it's less about hacking computers and way more about hacking people. It's called social engineering. I mean, why would you spend months trying to crack some complex encryption when you can just manipulate someone into giving you the key? It's the art of psychological trickery used to get people to bypass their very own security. And this isn't some rare, fringe threat, you guys. According to recent reports, vishing, that's voice phishing, shot up a staggering 442% in late 2024. This isn't just happening. It's a massive, growing industry where attackers literally just call you on the phone and trick you. And these attacks, they aren't random. Attackers follow a very structured playbook. The fancy term for it is the cyber social engineering kill chain, which is basically a formal model that breaks down how they plan and execute one of these manipulation campaigns. But let's simplify what that actually means. So what does this process actually look like? Well, first, in the pre-stage, they do their homework on you online. Then, they develop a believable story, like a fake email from your bank. Next up is execution. They actually send you that email. And finally, exploitation. That's where they get you to click the bad link or give up your password. It's a calculated, predictable, and very effective process. Okay, here's another movie classic, The Disappearing Evidence. The hero drags that top-secret file to the trash can and poof, it's gone forever. This brings us to the myth of the delete button. On screen, deleting a file is like shredding it into a million pieces. But in reality, when you hit delete, you're usually just removing the file's address. It's like tearing the table of contents out of a book. The actual data, the pages, are still sitting right there on your hard drive, just waiting until new data happens to get written over it. For a digital forensics expert, getting that deleted file back is often no big deal. Okay, let's talk about the front door to your digital life, your password. Every spy movie has that scene where the hero has to guess the password to save the world, right? And of course, they always guess something ridiculously simple, like admin123 or the bad guy's dog's name. And look, yeah, people use terrible passwords, but modern defense has moved way beyond just trying to keep a single word secret. The real game changer here is multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Think of this as the digital deadbolt on your front door. Even if a hacker manages to steal or guess your password, they are stopped cold. Why? Because they don't have that second factor, that little code that just popped up on your phone. So what's the big takeaway here? Stop trying to be a memory hero with dozens of complex passwords. It's just not going to work. Turn on MFA everywhere you possibly can. Use a password manager to create and store unique, impossible-to-guess passwords for every single site. Let the software, let the robots do the heavy lifting for you.
And this finally brings us to the real hero of the story. In the movies, it's always the lone wolf in a hoodie, fighting the systems from a dark basement. But the real world of cybersecurity is the exact opposite.
The myth is this solo anti-hero. The reality? It's a professional team. We're talking about ethical hackers, security analysts, and penetration testers who all work together. Their job isn't to break things for fun, it's to find the security holes and fix them before the bad guys can get there. It's a legitimate and absolutely vital career. This quote from someone in the cybersecurity community on Reddit just sums it up perfectly. It's not about running some pre-made script you downloaded. Real hacking is about having a deep passion for understanding how systems work and then using that knowledge to solve incredibly complex problems in really creative ways. It's a whole mindset built on curiosity and serious technical skill. So, while the professionals are out there defending the massive systems that we all rely on every single day, the question this really leaves us with is a personal one. They're doing their part. Are you doing yours?